afternoon, students. This is the Georgia Prehistoric Indian preview lesson. The goal of this lesson is for you to listen to the audio, watch the PowerPoint, and get ready for our guest speaker, which will be on Friday. You have all week to go over this particular lesson and familiarize yourself with some key terms. Our essential question for this unit is, how did Georgia's prehistoric Indian tribes live? There will be 4 tribes that we will talk about: Paleo, Archaic, Woodland, and Mississippian. Go ahead and click the slide when you are ready. Our first question that we're going to ask is, how did man arrive to the New World, and specifically Georgia? About 25,000 years ago, the Earth was engaged in an ice age, which meant that the ocean levels were much lower than they are today. This created a land bridge between Russia and Alaska. Archaeologists believe that's how man ultimately came to the New World, through this, or across this land bridge. And once across the land bridge, these new Native Americans spread throughout North, Central, and South America. About 10,000 years ago is when they think, archaeologists believe, that man arrived in Georgia. The first group of people to arrive in Georgia were called the Paleo Indians. They arrived about 10,000 years ago BC to about 8,000 years ago BC. This group of people were nomadic, and nomadic means that they did not settle down, they moved from place to place to place, generally following where the food goes. Major predators like the great white shark are, in a sense, nomadic because they go where the food goes. There is no farming at this point, and it's a very basic lifestyle. One of the tools that the Paleo Indians used was called an attle-attle. In the next few slides, you're going to see how an attle-attle was used to kill large prey. This invention definitely aided the Paleo Indians in surviving in the Georgia forest. The attle-attle is a spear thrower, and basically what it does is it increases the velocity and the speed at which the spear is being thrown. In the picture, you see some Paleo Indians attacking a large mammoth-type creature. There is no attle-attle in use in this picture, but there would be in the off to the sides of the picture and a great distance away throwing the attle-attle. The Indians attacking this particular creature are using a long spear-like device to get in for the final kill. On this slide, you're going to see some basic tools used by the Paleo Indians. Now, these tools are made out of stone or bone, and they're basic tools that they would need. The most important one I probably want you to look at is the one that's titled projectile point. This would be the point that goes at the end of the spears that were used on the attle-attles to kill those big game. These would be large stone projectile points. The next group of people that we're going to talk about is the Archaic Indian group. Around 8,000 BC, there's a lot of global changes going on in the world. The temperature is beginning to rise as the ice age is beginning to end. This end of the ice age sparks the Paleo's main food, the mammoth, the large game, to die off. So the Paleo has to evolve, and they transfer into the Archaic Indian group. This Indian group is going to use smaller projectile points because The smaller projectile points help with the smaller game. The Archaic period lasts for about 7,000 years. Archaic means old, Paleo means very old. At the beginning of this period, the Archaic Indians are very similar to the Paleo. The biggest difference is what they hunt. All the big game, the giant sloths, mastodons, and mammoths are extinct now. By the end of this period, they are very different from the Paleo Indians. This axe, which is found in Wilkes County, Georgia, is a groove axe. It helped propel the nomadic Indians to settling and to begin farming. They would clear land in order for berries, nuts, and fruits to grow. Axe heads like this were made from crystalline stone. The shape was made from a pebble and smoothed with sandstone. The next group of people that we're going to talk about is called the Woodland Indians. They lived from around 1000 BC to 800 AD. This is the big shift that we see. The Archaic Indians were becoming more and more advanced and beginning to settle down. But the settling down doesn't start until the Woodland period. This is where they develop horticulture or agriculture. Those nomadic people now begin to stop wandering, plant, and civilization begins. One of the most noted things of the Woodland period is that they came up with the bow and arrow to use to hunt. No longer are we using the atlatl. These pictures that you see here is showing the evolution of a projectile point. In the Paleo and Archaic, your projectile point is larger because it's designed to kill larger game. But as that game becomes extinct, the projectile points get smaller and smaller and use different materials like a shark's tooth, a deer antler perhaps. And the bottom picture you see what happens if the woodland people used a bow and arrow with an archaic spear point. It would be ineffective. So they have to evolve just as the animals. The last group of people that we're going to talk about they are called the Mississippian Indians, and they are around from 800 AD to 1540. And this is when the arrival of the Europeans comes. The Mississippian are the most advanced. They are also known as the Temple Mound builders. Temple Mound building had started in the Woodland period, but it reached its height or zenith in the Mississippian period. This is where you're going to see a lot of technological advances. The harvesting of corn, various plants used in religious rituals, and of course the mound building, which was used as burial mounds, ceremonial mounds, or just commonplace meeting mounds. Okmulgee is an example of a meeting mound. Etowah is an example of a town with a ceremonial mound, and Rock Eagle is an example of an effigy mound. In the next few slides, you're going to see some aspects of Mississippian culture. And this concludes our preview of Chapter 3, Section 1, Prehistoric Native Cultures to Georgia. If you have any questions, please let myself or the other teachers know, and get ready for our guest speaker on Friday, who's going to talk about a lot of things that were mentioned in this PowerPoint today. Thank you and have a great day.